Hi and welcome to InFocus. This is Jabbar Al-Obaidi. In this episode, we'll be talking about something really special, at least to me, because I like to read, and I know so many of our audience also they like to read. But this read that I had the pleasure and the honor to practice. It came through a book, was actually authored by one of my, I would dare to say, probably he was not expecting that to say that, is like former students of communication. And that was in the beautiful Sana'a city, the capital of Yemen. And we'll talk about Yemen a little bit, but I know the audience probably, they always take Yemen and whatever they hear, in the Western media about Yemen, the other side of Yemen. Okay, we are talking about Yemen, the civilization, Yemen, the history, Yemen, the culture, Yemen, the people. Yemen that actually produced, one of their sons was my guest today, Mr. Mahammed Ajarmouzi. He's a journalist, he's a writer, and he's a friend of mine. Mr. Mahammed, thank you for driving from Springfield to Bridgewater and to take the time to speak with us and to our audience about your wonderful book. So this is the book. I know you have the picture for it, but this is the book, which is the title in Arabic, and you should probably today's conversation will motivate you to, probably they motivate them to learn Arabic too as well and read about Yemen or more. But the title is very, very, really interesting, is Journalist Adventure to the Land of Dreams. So let's see what's in this book. I found it is very interesting. Visually is very inviting, and also the way that journalist, you yourself, the way you wrote your story since you came, or before even you came to this country, is very telling, is very rich. And also I always underline the word inviting, which I mean that you invite the reader to read more and more. So again, Mr. Mahammed Ajarmouzi, thank you so much. And tell me a little bit about your background in Yemen, the city that you were born in Yemen, and the culture that you were raised in, and all of the things that you feel comfortable to talk with.
First, it's my pleasure to be with you today in this program. I was born in the old city of Sana'a in July 2nd, 1962. And I raised in Sana'a, and I went to school there until I graduate from the college. I graduate from sociology and psychology measurement.
Sociology and psychology.
Then when I started working in the Thawra newspaper, I study with you guys a high diploma in mass communication, especially in journalism. But the journalism journey started when I was in the middle school. I started writing and drawing. I'm an artist too. The wallpaper.
The board paper.
Yeah, and Sabah school, the middle school. Sabah school. Then when I went to high school, Omar al-Mukhtar High School, we started with the colleagues and the other friends, the stencil newspaper, the old-fashioned stencil. We do it, and it was excellent experience. at that time, because we do everything. We do everything. Printing,
from thinking
editing,
to writing to editing to printing
everything.
To probably also distributing the
yeah, that
the
was
work.
the base of my journalism journey. In middle school, then high school, then when I went to college, the first year I start college, I start working at the newspaper as an artist to do layout in the newspaper. Then I started write some articles.
So actually, the journalism is kind of built in almost.
Yes, since when I was a little. So I was growing with two talents, journalism and drawing.
So you are also a painter.
Yeah, I'm a painter, yes.
So artist, as you call yourself.
Yes,
and
yeah.
so
I have a lot of paintings. I participate
exhibitions
out in Yemen and outside of Yemen.
International and local exhibition, and probably in the Middle East. And the Arab world. Now, you graduated from University of Sana'a, and you got your graduate work done there, right?
Yeah.
While you were studying, you were also working to Al Thawra newspaper?
Yes.
Al Thawra, that's the name of the newspaper, which is one of the leading newspapers.
The leading, it was #1 newspaper in Yemen at that time.
At that time, what's the exact period?
The time before the unification in the 80s.
Unification from between the
South and North.
And
then
the North,
it continued the #1 after even the unification.
Yeah, and you were actually in higher position in the Al Thawra newspapers.
I started in the layout management, and I created this department. Then when I left to United States in 1994 for journalism scholarship through Humphrey Scholarship.
Yes.
I was ahead of the layout department, which is I created in the newspaper.
Yes.
It wasn't there, but I created and managed it. Then when I was doing that, I was writing a weekly article. It's called من ثنايا القلم.
From
the newspaper.
Okay.
While I was working, no, before.
Before, okay.
I was doing a weekly column. It's called من ثنايا القلم.
So
it comes from the. I don't know how to translate it.
What was exactly
من ثنايا القلم.
Yes, it is the wealth of the pen.
But that column, it wasn't just with the government. It's against the corruption in the government. Always criticize the corruption and the mistakes everywhere.
So you're kind of showing some criticism.
Yes.
Probably constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You're critiquing, some of the bad things.
Yes.
And you said corruption or other than
that.
So your pen, your mind are engaged with the social affairs and the economic affairs and the cultural affairs and what you think the people need. And also, you're helping the government to understand that there are some problems. There's some problems. So you highlight these problems. You ask them. You encourage them. You want them to correct these problems, right?
So I was trying that time to make a voice for the people.
Well said.
So they can find something to read, to talk about their suffering, about their needs, about their problems, to reach to the big guys.
You almost interpreted the word civil journalism. The civil journalism means you always attach to the people, their stories,
that's what I was
their daily needs. Now, this book, which is I really read it twice.
Oh my God.
It is really interesting again, but what brought my attention is that you said you were influenced by a visit to the third president's residence, which is now a museum. Thomas Jefferson. Tell us about this.
Yeah, in 1994, I was in a foreign press center. I had a membership. Then they give us a tour to Monticello, which is the name of the
mansion and
the mansion
yes.
for Thomas Jefferson. When I went there, it's just when I learned about Jefferson, it just admired me, and I started that time to. I told myself I have to write about this guy, about this country, how those fathers create this strong base to be the best great country in the recent
so
age.
Of course, Jefferson was the Secretary of State with
first
George Washington.
Then he was ambassador in France.
Yes,
the first ambassador.
Yeah, and then he, of course, but also dealt with the slaves and all of that. So, what exactly impressed you by Jefferson?
After that visit, I started to read a lot about Jefferson,
yes.
And the more I read, I more admire him. He has done a lot for this country, like independent.
The Declaration of Independence,
he wrote
the Constitution,
that was great.
Co-author of the Constitution,
and
yes.
When he bought the Louisiana, and he double size of United States.
Okay.
And when he sent Lewis and Clark to the west and got more lands.
Okay.
He did very good in the American history, but when he talk about himself, he just talk about only the knowledge. When he created the Virginia University,
yes,
he just talk about the knowledge and the education. He didn't talk about as a third president, as a first ambassador, as a.
So he talk about like the country. Okay.
He was so humble.
Okay.
And he was open to all culture. One of them, the Islam. He has a Quran in his
office.
Yeah, in his library.
Yes.
He sold it to the Congress after that born.
Okay.
It burned.
Yes.
They bought the books from him. One of them is the Quran, and he translated some verses from the Quran.
Okay. So one of things in page 31, you said you describe yourself as a journalist coming from a third world. A third world, of course, now this is an old language, right?
Yeah.
And now the third world, we don't really refer to third world, we say developing countries. But you put it in context. So what was, you said is some impression about the College of Journalism in Arabic مواقف ومشاهدات في كلية الصحافة. What was like something that stand out?
Number one time I finished my class and I went to our office. We had our office as Hubert Humphrey Fellow. We have office and manager. And the dean of the journalism came down from his office to our manager, and he gave her the papers. I said, wow. And he said, hi, Mohammed. I said, hi, Dean. And he just talked to her. She was sit down, and he was standing. The dean is standing.
Oh, okay, so that's the ranking.
The ranking. This is not usual in the third world.
For you, was probably cultural shock, right?
Yes, this is number one. I said, wow, the dean is just came down and he
handed a paper,
and she was sit down. How you doing there?
Just like
she didn't wake up, and he didn't use one of those.
So because you're used to when the dean comes, like everybody stand up.
Yes, and everybody go to his office, and he just sent the papers to.
He don't deliver papers.
Yes,
he receive papers.
This is one of them. Yeah,
that's an interesting observation. So if you just join us, this is In Focus. I'm talking to a journalist from Yemen, but this is in the United States, Mahammed Ajarmouzi, and his book is Journalist Adventure to the Land of Dreams. So that's the book. You also mentioned.
I'm gonna translate it, by the way, to the English.
I think would be really wonderful.
Yes.
It's I think.
By the way, yes.
No. I think it's good because probably one day, someone will be interested to make it to a movie. It's very rich, and I know you talk a lot about Jefferson. But one thing that probably can be said, you focus on the positive things in the United States. I mean, this is for all immigrants. They should read these books, because when you say, the land of dreams, is true. The land of dreams, as long as you work hard and then you follow the rules and regulation, you will reach your destination and beyond. Okay. But why is it that you focus on the positive aspects? I'm sure you have some low moments while over the last 30 years, but you focus on the positive aspects and through your experience in the United States.
This is give back a little bit to this great country. This country did a lot of great things for me and my family and my kids. Honestly, I'll tell you, my dream came true, because when we came, my wife and I, we focused on only one thing: our kids, and get them educated to the highest level we can. We successful in this point. 3 of them, they graduated with the great certificates. You can see it.
They got their undergraduate here in the United States.
One of them electrical engineering, Ghaida, and Ghamdan registered nurse, and he's continue studying too, side. And my daughter Ala, accountant. And my baby,
so you have 4 children?
Yeah, 4, 2 and 2, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
But thank God the dream come true, and I owe this country a lot. And a lot of negatives going on around the world about America, especially the politics. And this book, I'm trying to give back something to this great country.
That's very, very nice of you.
And give them the nice face of the United States with the facts, not just talk. All of facts.
Evidence-based.
You can see all facts, and none of them just my creation or my imagination. When I talk about something about the law, the Constitution, how
freedom of speech.
Yeah, everybody.
Democracy.
Yeah, yes.
And when you come, allow me to say, Mohammed, so be friendly. Yeah. So Mohammed, when you came, also you created your own business, right? Because what you just said is something very substantial, that the focus, you and your spouse, your wife, is to raise the children, the family, make sure that they get their education, and then they of course fly on their own when they grow up.
Yeah.
And I think successfully you have done that. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, what was were the challenges through this journey? And you mentioned some in your book.
My challenge, as I told you, how to raise those 4 kids in the right way and protect them from the bad things around. It just like I always said, my wife and I, we wanna just just like you swimming against the huge wave.
The current, yeah, wave.
But
yes.
we did swim and we passed them to the land, the safe land. Thank God. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Yani, we say. This is a huge challenge, but we successful.
You were successful and you are successful, yeah. Now you are actually, you have grandchildren, right?
2 grandsons, yeah.
Yeah.
Sami and Ayubi.
Yeah, congratulations. Now, if you compare this, you say, I always admire the experience and I stand long, and tall in front of these challenges because you brought your own cultural experience from a very rich culturally country like Yemen to a land, you have the chance, the opportunity to experience, right? So how you manage to really make that cultural negotiation between your cultural background and what's the culture or the cultures are here in the United States?
I'll tell you how we did it. My wife and I, we are open to American culture, very open. We celebrate Thanksgiving, where we always hosted in my house. At the day we do all 100% American food, just like any American food. We teach our kids, this is your land. You're born in here, this is your country. So we connect them to this great country. Beside, we teach them Yemen's culture, Islam's culture, Islam's regulation, how to be a good Muslim, how to be a good Yemeni, So thank God they understand both culture and the God. If you see my son's wedding,
yeah, we'll come to this.
It's in the United States, but it's a Yemeni wedding with everything, with the whole culture.
Now, you through your business, you had a coffee shop, right?
Coffee shop, Mocha Emporium, yeah.
Where
in Hampshire Mall,
in a mall.
In Hadley, yeah.
Okay,
Hadley,
and
Hampshire Mall.
You said you had a chance to meet with so many different people of different background, but one of them was
Wiley. Willie Stis.
Willie, that's
his poemer.
Yes, it's a poet, so he write, yeah. And okay. Now, do you still have the same relation with him?
The corona, I lost communication with him. He didn't come.
During the COVID-19.
During the COVID-19. And I closed my coffee shop over there, so I am not going there anymore.
Okay.
But we always, before that, I always see him every morning. He come for a walk and we talk, and he give me all his books, and he wrote a poem about me. It's in here.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah. It's true. It's very true. What you like evidence. Yeah. So what you say, it's here.
It's there. Yeah.
It's in this book. Now, tell me. You said about I know, and I would say this to the audience. I was invited to go to the wedding, but I was out of the country then. So tell me about why this wedding, with all really the details of the cultural things that you do in New York. Tell us about the wedding.
Actually, my son and I, we were planning to go to Yemen to make, he loves to be a Yemeni wedding. But because of the war, we couldn't. We just said maybe next summer. Then I just got an idea. I told Ramdan, what
Ramdan, your son.
Yeah. I thought about Yemeni wedding 100% in New York City and Bronx. They call it the Bronx, a Little Yemen.
Little Yemen.
If you go there, you can see you are just living in Yemen. one of the streets, they name it after the President Ibrahim al-Hamdi.
Yes.
The main street, yeah. And if you go there, it's Yemeni with the Yemeni jambia
and outfit.
So it was a great idea, and he likes it, and we did it because no Yemeni in Springfield, just me and my brothers-in-law. Over there, a lot of Yemenis, a lot of everything. So we did it 100% Yemeni.
Yeah, so I thank you for sharing also the visual with us, because we're going to add it to the program.
Yeah,
it's really is interesting, and I think it's very valuable, and I encourage our audience really to watch at least that clips, because it's really beautiful. It's a very powerful statement, and just show the rich culture in Yemen. So you said this book is going to be translated into Arabic, right? To English.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of pictures there, you know. So and I will give our great team here, the TV, you know, to take some of these pictures, and it's really great. You know, I mean, this book is available now. I know it's in Arabic, but it's going to be translated.
Yeah.
Now. You know, people, when it comes to Yemen, they have this misconceptions. You know, as you said, the war. How are the Yemenis are doing, and what do you see the future there?
I had an interview just at Protax last night. They asked me the same question, and I said it has been so bad. Since 2015, but in the last 2 years it's like quiet so far, and all political parties are talking. And I said they have to sit down in the circle table, you know,
round table like this.
Round table, so no everybody the same. And they have to talk as a Yemeni, 100% talk about Yemen without influence from the other countries, all countries. And if we talk, doesn't matter, it takes 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, just talk in the right way about Yemen, how to solve the problem.
Reconcile.
I think in that point, we're going to step in the right step to forward
to the right direction
and the right direction, and it's going to be the light in the end of the tunnel.
Now, you said also, you mentioned in your book that you describe yourself, you characterize yourself as someone asks you, say, I'm Yemeni,
American Yemeni. Yemeni American.
Yemeni American,
yes.
Not American Yemeni, Yemeni American.
It's a story about this title.
Yes.
And I'm as an artist, my kids trying to encourage me to go back to drawing the paintings.
Yes.
And one of the Father's Day, like 5 years ago, in the Father's Day, my son Hamdan, he gave me all colors, brushes, all things. Dad, you have to go back. I said, Inshallah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and do it in the summer. I'm excited.
But you did it, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Do you know when you are a father of
yes.
big family and a lot of things, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And I have hobbies, I have life, I have things. So when we were preparing for his wedding, he put me in the corner, he squeezed me in the corner. He said, Dad, my wife and I, we have requests for your gift for us. I said, what's that? Could you please do a painting for us when we're
gonna draw their pictures
to put it in our house? I said, okay. So
they got you there.
They got me, and I come back after 35 years.
Yes.
After 35 years.
Listen, with this note, this is a great.
So I did a painting, and I was thinking what kind of painting? So I did American and Yemeni culture together, and I call it I am a Yemeni American.
Well, He is a Yemeni American journalist, Mahammed Ajarmouzi. Thank you so much for having this opportunity.
Really my pleasure.
And thank you for watching InFocus. This is Jabbar Rubaidi coming to you from Bridgewater, Massachusetts, USA. Thank you.